So what for you makes a good performance?
So for me, a good performance, it can be made up of many things. It's quite a hard thing to answer, but you're looking for that moment that just puts hairs on the back of your neck and your arms and stuff. I mean, whether that's an amazing vocal, it usually is, but that can be mixed with they just look amazing. When they're singing, the whole room shrinks. Do you know, it's kind of things like that, or they can come on and just say something and their personality spills over and instantly they've won you over.
What for you is the best way for acts to approach you?
I'd usually say with £20 note in the hand is a good... I'll always listen to that. But no, in terms of a label, if you're going to approach a label, again, try and get the best recording that you can of yourself vocally. I mean, that can be, you don't want to be spending too much money, but you've got to do yourself justice, if that makes sense. And try and get yourself into a position where, as a label, where when we listen to you and we see your press pack or your website or whatever that you've made, the decision is made quite quickly. So you need to try and get everything that says everything about you over to us quite clearly. So your image needs to be right. The songs need to sound good. It's like trying to make our job as easy as possible.
So when does an act know when to come and approach a record label?
We have a lot of scouts, and if you're in a position if you're lucky enough to have management, usually management will speak to the label and there'll be a showcase sorted out. If you're unsigned, again, it's quite tricky. If you can go to these showcases like Open Mic, that we have guys down, I'm sure there's plenty of nights in London or wherever your city is, but usually we've got enough scouts scouring the internet and stuff that you'll kind of know what's going on.
So on a demo, how many songs roughly do you suggest?
Probably about three songs for the demo, I think.
Yeah, how important is a fan base to singers?
A fan base is important. I think if you're a single artist yourself, it's sometimes a bit harder to get an amass and go on tour and try and build up a fan base as opposed to if you're in a band and stuff. But I think these days, I don't know if fan base is that important. I think if you can have the right songs and the right image, that's the first initial step.
So how important is image to an act then?
I think it has to make sense. I'm not saying, I would say that to everyone, it has to be true to you and suit the music. So, because when we're listening to a track and looking at an artist, you're trying to picture what the finished product would be and where in the music marketplace they'll fit.
Yeah. So
but at the same time, it's like just because you're singing folk doesn't mean you have to look like a folk band, or it's very complex. But we have to get a feeling of your personality through your image, and just kind of know that it's going to connect on a wider stage.
What would be your top tips overall for singers to impress you?
My top tips for being impressed: vocally, I'm there to be wowed. I'm not there to judge, and I'm not there when I'm listening to something, I'm willing it to be amazing. So it's like, make sure your tuning's right and make sure you're in time. Again, image, it counts, but it's after the song. The song is what's going to prick the ears up and make you interested. But know your stuff. I think from judging previous things and listening to a lot of demos, the amount of people that you'd be surprised that the tuning's not there, and simple stuff like being in time can trip people up.
How important is it for acts to write their own songs?
For them, it's important financially as well, because they get paid more money from it later down the line. from discovering an act, if they can nail a cover, again it's the vocal, it'd be great, but I guess everyone's looking for that amazing artist that has everything, the full package, so it would be writing their own songs, you know, amazing vocal, their image is already sorted out, it's almost, you know, that's what you're hoping for, it's just, you totally get it, everything's perfect, great, let's get you in the studio and start some work.